Welcome to Bevy Pod. Today we're going to interview Rachel from No Looking Back. And it's called No Looking Back because she's been through a lot of things in her life and she refuses to look back. She's only going forward as a songwriter, as a real estate agent, as a mother. You're not going to want to miss this interview. Welcome to Bevy Pod. Today we have a very special guest, Rachel. Okay, Rachel, tell me a little bit about yourself.
Well, I'm a mother of two teenagers. I'm a realtor for the last 22 years.
Are you really?
I am.
Wow.
It's been 22 years already. And I'm also a singer and a songwriter.
You know, I was so honored on St. Patty's Day to happen to see you sing and your group. What's the name of your group?
It's called No Looking Back.
Do you have a website?
We do.
What's the website?
Well, we don't have a website. We're on social media.
Oh, social media.
On
Okay.
Facebook and Instagram.
Okay, so how would they find you? Just look for No Looking Back?
No Looking Back Canada. Okay. And then I also have a separate channel as well for myself for Rachel Brunet Music.
Oh.
I have my own songs.
Oh, that's very nice.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you're a very good singer and we see you going very, very far.
Thank you very much.
So, okay, so having a real estate, having children, having a music career, how do you shuffle all that?
Well, being a realtor actually was, it's a great career to have when you're a parent. So I have the two boys, and I was able to, you have the flexible hours and such. So, just that was able to help me just, get the kids to be able to go see, because of the flexibility, I was able to see them in, at school and their plays, etc.
Wow.
And so that gave me a lot of that time, that balance really.
Right.
So spending time with my children was my priority. And so I've been doing great with that. And
with the real estate, you can almost choose your own hours too. Like, are you a single parent or a married?
I am now, yes.
Okay.
I have been.
So the good thing is that I guess being in real estate, that you can decide that, okay, well, I want to go out and I want to really work right now. I want to take a bit of break because I have a cleaning company. So in the cleaning company, I work with a lot of real estate agents, and some of them I see that, for a couple of years, they don't do anything. Like, they go off and they do things and then they come back to it. It's sort of like a safety net. I guess it would be a safety net for them.
Right.
Yeah. So it's really good you have that.
Yeah. For myself, I've been full time for 22 years, and just again, it's just sort of balanced it out, right? And kind of make my own hours. I'm, I work smart. I guess I didn't work too much, and but I still
that is smart.
Yeah.
Especially nowadays, because you can get so exhausted just from working too much, right?
And I have a lot of past clients and repeat clients, and
that's
now
important.
I'm sort of on the tail end, if you wish, and I just kind of pick and choose the clients that I want, and but I don't see myself ever leaving the career. Right?
No, I mean, it's a great thing to have, and a lot of people, when they retire, they get into real estate.
Right, exactly.
So what about the music? What made you get into music?
The music so when I was younger, I guess I was, I played piano when I was younger, and I did a few of
I did a bit of piano too, but then I ended up dropping out. I'm so sorry I did that.
I did. I haven't played in a really long time, but I've always been a writer and wrote a lot of poems, and and I loved singing. And
very creative.
It just kind of all happened by accident, really. Okay. So after in 2019, I became a single mom, and I needed an outlet, and it was just the beginning before COVID. And I wanted to, I went online and I saw that there was a thing called the School of Rock.
Wow.
In Markham.
I never heard of that.
I know, it's so cool. So, and then they said, well, we can do some Zoom sort of lessons. And I thought, no, I want to be in person.
You're like me, I like person. I don't like Zoom.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. So I just thought, I'm going to do that. And then I ended up going to School of Rock. But prior to that, I was starting to write a little bit. And as, things were sort of, as I was navigating through these, situations in my personal relationship, my outlet became singing. So I would get together with some friends, and then I would just go there, and then we would sing, and I enjoyed it.
So is singing healing? Like, I know a lot of people, I think a lot of people write about like heartache, like country and western is about, oh, it's a heartache, right? Bonnie Tyler. But I mean, they write their feelings and emotions, and I think that's very powerful because you can tell what people go through by their music.
Exactly.
Right? So
for sure.
Powerful.
I mean, for myself it is. I'm a writer, and I need to let it out. I don't know if it's because I'm a Libra or something, but I'm not
That's
so
great.
great at, while I'm confident for personal, in during personal conversations and stuff, sometimes I do have a hard time, speaking. So I'm writing, and
well, you're very creative,
right.
and I've heard you sing, and like you're just totally amazing.
Oh
So,
gosh, thank you so much.
and how long have you been singing? Just since before COVID?
Since before COVID.
Wow.
And a really good friend of mine, Peter, at the time, called me up one day and said, "Hey, Rach, like, what do you think of this? And I'm gonna love you morning, noon, and night." And I was like, "Oh, I like that." And then together on the phone, we wrote a song. And
wow.
from that riff, it just, of course, it's all personal. And then I just kind of got the bug. And then I went to School of Rock, and whenever you finish the session there, you play at, you do a show, a rock show.
Oh.
And we learned my song, and we actually got to play my song.
Oh my gosh, that's so
rewarding.
rewarding.
Oh, I love this stage thing. And then it just continued from there.
Wow.
And I've been writing.
So you're not scared when you're on stage? Because I know a lot of people, when they get on stage, it was one of the greatest fears is, being on that stage and having to perform. Like, a lot of people freeze. So how do you?
I don't know.
It just comes.
I just go for it. I
Right.
just kind of picture myself, I don't know, like at the edge of a cliff, and I'm like, I'm just doing it, and I
Right.
feel really comfortable because it means something to me, and I really like the interaction, and I like to include people in the in our performance and stuff like that, and engaging. I don't know. I feel good up there. I feel
well, you look good up there, right?
Thank you, thank you.
So that's good. So, okay, you said that you were a single parent then.
Yeah.
So you must have had some challenges in your life to overcome,
Mm-hmm.
right? So if, like, nowadays people are going through so many challenges, right? What would you recommend to somebody that wants to get in the music business? Their life is, like Bonnie Tyler says, a heartache, and they want to move forward, but they just feel stuck. Right? What would they do? How would they, like, you must have pushed through, your breakup no matter what to go on. And, you have 3 different things going on. You have your family, you have your music, you have your real estate, and other people, sometimes they don't. They stay stuck.
Right.
And then they become victims of life. And instead of being a victim of life, you got to kind of push out of that and go forward. How did you do it, or what would you recommend for someone doing that?
I don't know. I guess it was just inside me, and I'm very much like, the name of my band, right? No looking back.
No looking back. I
So,
love that.
Thank you.
I love that.
I just, my father was always a very positive person, and for myself
Lucky.
too, I always look positive. I look on the other side of, of the coin, and I don't have a choice. I need to keep moving forward, and I think with that, like, you can stay in the past,
right?
but you need to just use the past and let it serve you, and then just keep going. So it's, for me, it's kind of about, and I'm happy for everything that has happened,
Right.
and I learned from it,
good.
and I guess you just kind of, you have to start off with, like, forgiveness, and it's the forgiveness that makes you sort of continue to move forward. So,
Forgiveness is so important. I mean, just sharing in my experience, I was in a relationship for 18 years, and I hired a beautiful blonde. So anyway, he decided to drift away. And when he did that, I was devastated, and our relationship ended. And all of a sudden I found myself alone, right? And it was all I had was my little dog and God, right? I did it through prayer, meditation. My little dog was really healing being with me all the time, Dusty, right?
Nice.
So how would you recommend to somebody else to get through that? Like, do you believe in prayer or meditation?
Oh, 100%. Absolutely. Especially, for myself, the law of attraction is extremely important.
Oh, I love that.
And just visualization. So I don't know. I've just sort of been doing that for a long time now. And I just really do these rituals, if you wish, of like positive, and then I exhale negative. And I've been doing that for
positive,
and
negative. I love that.
Yeah, and I would do that like riding my bike and just really just filling my brain with positive thoughts. I mean, we all have kind of our, we're ups and downs, but I like to stay positive, and I keep moving forward. And again, like, what the mind believes, the mind achieves. which
Oh,
is
I like
simple.
that. That's
So
really good.
if you think that you're going to be that way, it's just that's what I project, and yeah, that's how I go through it. And I do meditate. I do some affirmations. I have different coaches for different things.
Oh, you have coaches?
I do.
Okay, so I'm wondering about coaches because we interviewed somebody called Kenny, and I'm thinking about making him my coach. Okay. He's a Tony Robbins coach.
Love Tony.
Yeah, I love Tony too. So, what do you think about coaching? Like you said, you have a coach. You have a couple coaches.
I do. I have
so,
two
how
coaches.
do coaches help you?
Well, I have a real estate coach.
Okay.
Vivian,
I didn't even know they had such a
They
thing.
do.
That's
They
great.
have quite a few of them, and I follow different ones, but my favorite is Rob Vivian, and he's here in the GTA. So I guess I've been with him for over 10 or 12 years or so.
Wow.
And he's the epidemic of being positive. Something awesome's going to happen today. And what he does is what he teaches. I just basically do what he teaches, and it works. So on the real estate side, because real estate, there's a lot of pushback.
Oh yeah, there's a roller coaster, right? Houses are up, houses are down.
Yes, and when I started, I think there was like 36,000 realtors on the Toronto Real Estate Board, and now there's
so much competition.
There's
you guys are all
76,000 of them now.
Oh God! Wow.
So he's so I listen to him every single day.
Okay.
And I go to his events and stuff. So he's a really positive for me with on the real estate side. And now I have a vocal coach as well, and he's fantastic. I sort of met him at one of his shows a few years ago.
Right.
And I was really excited because I just came out with my single, and I saw him on the stage, and I thought, oh my God, like how does he do this? So I spoke to him after, and then we kept in contact, and it's Dan Clancy from Lighthouse.
Wow.
Who's an incredible. He's my vocal expert, and he's just amazing. And
that's amazing.
He helps me and guides me. I'm releasing a few singles, and before I go to the studio, I go see him. We work on some phrasing and some techniques and stuff, and he's great. He's amazing.
I think it's very important. Like in the morning, what I do is every morning is with my dogs in bed. I have my coffee, and I get up extra early just so I could spend that extra time in bed. And I write, and I watch different podcasts. So one person I like is Myron Golden. He's a good one that I'm listening to lately on business, because in business, and he's also spiritual. So he talks about God and including God and spirituality in your walk and stuff like that. So that helps me, as well as all kinds of different people, as well as Tony Robbins too. I like Tony Robbins is like someone that never really, he's always going on, and he's moving forward no matter what. And I find that by doing that and praying and meditating, that I'm able to start my day. You said before that you had problems with words. Well, myself, I suffered from anxiety from a small age. Like when I was 5 years old, my dad used to like to go out on my mom. So my mom, since I was this cute little kid, she would take me and shake me all the time and say, "Be happy, your dad's coming, your dad's coming." Okay. And by the window, right? And then that might not have been him. And then someone else came, and then I'd be up till 1 o'clock in the morning as a little kid being shaken, right?
Wow.
So it took my whole life to get over anxiety and panic attacks.
Okay.
Every job that I had, I was always fired because sometimes I couldn't, I was educated, I knew how to do it, but I just couldn't bring myself to just take that step, to go into the boardroom or to talk to that person. I would be like hiding in the bathroom going, stop.
Suffering from the trauma.
Like from my past, right? To overcome that anxiety. So for me, it has been a real lifelong process to reverse that. And for me to be able to sit here or to go out with my friends, enjoy my life, like my whole life has changed now. But I think that is because of prayer, meditation, and also not so much coaches. Like I haven't had a coach yet, but I want to get a coach because I want to go to the next level in my life. But from listening to people and talking to people and asking for help and counselors, like I remember when I wanted to get into George Brown and I didn't have enough education, and I went back to school in the summer, and this guy goes, "Oh, you're too dumb, you know, just all this negativity coming towards me." And I went to this woman counselor and I said, "Please help me. I want to get into George Brown. I want to get into marketing and advertising. I think it would be really good. I think it would be fun." And so she says, "Beverly, I'm going to help you because you want it so bad." right?
Yes.
And that's when the struggle began, because I had to get in there and struggle. But it was like, wow, it's like
She was there for you.
she was there, and all the time people have been there
I
for
know.
me.
They just like appear, right? You don't know why they're there, but they're like these little angels that are placed on your path to help you.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
And then we keep growing and we become more confident, and it's exciting, really.
It's really exciting life. So when you start having faith and start walking in faith, because I think what happens is that good things happen for you, and then when you want to move on, it's about now stepping out in faith, which is even more scary if you know my background. Going in faith, you know, me being a single person with 2 dogs and a business and stuff, and sometimes business is a roller coaster,
Of course.
and you don't have anybody to fall back on. You don't have someone you can call and say, hey, you know, financially help me, right? You got God. You're walking in faith, right?
Right.
And so I'm just like so grateful that, you know, for me it's spiritual, mental, and physical, right? And so what is it for you, like, to overcome different, like when you have challenges and stuff, right? Like, what would you recommend people to do?
Well, for myself, what I do, first of all, like, I mean, I pray a lot. I come from the, you know, a Catholic family and stuff, and but I've always been sort of, you know, whether it's God or an energy or the universe, and again, for me, I pray, and that's one of my biggest things. You know, just sort of, you know, and ask for perseverance, because, and I try to also, I try to feel those moments, because if I'm sad or if I'm angry or if I'm hurt, you know, you have to feel those. You have to go through them.
Right. Don't stuff them.
And then eventually, no, you don't. You want to, you know, it's just part of their life. There's actually a reason. I don't sort of believe in coincidence. I feel like everything just sort of happens for a reason. So, and the situation happened, and then I just, you know, I breathe it out, and I pray, and, you know, I keep going, and I stay positive. And again, you know, I'm a big, I have a vision board. I visualize. I know
I love
what
that.
I want.
Vision.
Even for when I was, you know, I got married really late. I got married really late. I was 32 when I had my first son at almost 39. The other one at almost
You're kidding.
40.
Wow, that's great.
Yeah, they're teenagers now, 15,
But that's hard to believe. You look so beautiful.
Oh,
like, come on.
so.
You're so young. I can't believe you have teenagers and you started so late.
I do. I used to drink wine. Now I drink vodka.
Okay, well, you know what? There's something that you're doing right, because you look so beautiful and young.
Thank you.
And I think part of it is the positivity, right? Like, it shines through you, right?
Thank you.
And that, you know, you're moving forward and that you don't stop and you're being positive. So it really shows. Like, I think this is something for anti-aging, right? Like, stay positive, right? If you want to look as beautiful as Rachel, right?
Oh, you're so kind. Thank you so much.
That's true.
I think for myself, my outlet really is music and writing, and now I'm just meeting all kinds of different, you know, musicians, and I'm part of this collaboration of different musicians here in Durham, and where we play, and I'm writing a lot, and just like, you know, different phases, you go through some phases where I have so much clarity, and I'm like, oh, I want to write, or and sometimes you can tell, like, if I hadn't had the greatest day, some of my bandmates will say, you know, like,
they could see it.
They could tell that how it came out in some certain songs that night, and so no, it's great, and you know, this all started when I turned 52. So anybody can, you know, any dream that you have, you can do anything at any age, and I feel like it's only the beginning. It's just getting started, and I'm excited about it.
It is exciting. Yeah. So I like that you said that you feel it, right? Like, a lot of people nowadays are stuffing themselves with alcohol, drugs, gambling, bingo. Bingo's huge right now. Okay. Just to avoid the feeling of feeling. Like, lately I have just changed my diet and my drink intake for different things, because I'm working on a project and I feel sometimes I get stuck. So I thought that if I just put really, really healthy food and water, different kinds of water, like,
Oh, yes.
Yeah, like,
cheers. Thank you so much for having me.
So,
delicious.
Beautiful. So I just feel that if I do that, that maybe I'll be able to get past this block. Like, there's a little thing that I want to work on right now, and I have, I guess you call it like a writer's block, right? So what would you recommend that I do for that?
Well, first of all, I think a lot of it has to do with probably what you're eating. So,
Okay.
food plays a huge role in people's lives, what
Yeah.
you're eating. For example, I have a son, my oldest son. He had a few challenges, health
Okay.
challenges,
Yeah.
and until recently, he had juvenile arthritis, which was, you find that out. And I was just, I'm really more of a natural person. I use essential
Arthritis
oils.
is like a pain where you can't move your body that mostly old people get, but they have it for juniors now.
Yes, exactly.
Wow.
And so it's inflammation, right? It's caused by a whole bunch of different things.
Devastating.
And
Is that from the food that you put in your body?
it can be,
Yeah.
definitely. I mean, for him, I noticed a big difference. We went to Sick Kids and we had saw a rheumatologist, and they were giving him pills, but the pills had a counter effect. And I don't really like using medication. I'd rather do it. So what we did is we did a detox, and I went to see my naturopath, and then we eliminated gluten, and gluten and sugar are like the worst things for inflammation.
They really are.
So if you look at your diet, and we did, like I went hardcore, like I didn't want him to have arthritis at such a young age.
No.
And then we did a detox, and we did a live blood cell test and a DNA test, and it comes down to the food. And within 1 year, his body, he no longer has that. So
That's a miracle.
It's amazing.
So it's got to do with your food. Like I guess it was over 20 years ago, I used to eat hamburgers every day.
Okay.
Like I was addicted to barbecued hamburgers.
Okay.
Like my boyfriend back then had to make me one every day, or I just couldn't live.
That's
And
interesting.
but I wasn't feeling well.
Okay.
So I met this guy's named Spiritual Joe, and he was telling me about, you got to change your life, you got to do a detox, you got to cleanse out your body. So I did it. Like the first week was no beef, then no chicken, then no fish, and it was just fruit and vegetables, and then it went through the body cleanse. And after that, I never touched meat again. So for 20 years, I've never touched any kind of anything that was alive,
Okay.
let's say. And because of that, I felt like great. All the pills and medication, everything that I was on, all gone.
Nice.
Never had to take anything again.
Good.
Don't even like aspirin if I have a headache or something. And I don't usually get a headache or anything. So thank you, God.
Yes. Yeah. No, that's good.
But yes, I really feel like food is really important and really healing, right?
Absolutely.
So right now I feel this block because I'm trying to write this little thing. And when I'm writing, I keep like, what is the block? Like it's not, I need to do it. But at the same sense, it's almost like a fear. It's like a fear, like.
But maybe it's just not the right time too.
Okay.
It could be, right? Like just sometimes, it may not be the right timing for it. Like for example, I started writing a song probably like 2 years ago now, and I got it, and I was just like, I didn't really like it, and I thought I'm just gonna park it for a bit.
Okay.
And then sometimes it'll come back to you. Maybe you need to go through other things or something like that. And whenever it's the right time, it will come. Or just, I don't know.
So be kind to myself.
Be kind to yourself,
right?
And let it happen when it needs to happen, maybe.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, that's really good advice. Thank you.
I think so.
I'm gonna take that because sometimes I can be so hard on myself.
Exactly.
Right?
That's the thing. We are so hard on ourselves.
I know. I judge myself so hard, and then other people I'm so kind to.
Right. Exactly. And we don't even treat ourselves with kindness. So we have to be kind to ourselves and others and.
Right.
Yeah,
so what is that school of rock? Like, say somebody wants to get involved in music, or, they're talented, they're writing their songs or anything. You said that's how you got started. Is it like 1 year, or you have to be dedicated?
No, I went there for like a semester, like for 4 months.
Okay.
And I just thought, I want to become a singer.
Oh.
So they put us in a group, and I had an amazing teacher, Addie Berkovitz, who was a fantastic musician, and he was our teacher. And then we had someone that, guitar player, bass player, drummer, and they put us all together in a group. And I had another colleague, she was also a singer as well. And we were there for 1 semester. I mean, you can keep going and learning, but for myself, my instrument was my voice. And then we did a show at the end. And then I went on this other platform, which is called Band Mix. It's a musician's platform. And so I started meeting with people, auditioning because I wanted to be part of the band. And then, sometimes I got rejected because I didn't have a lot of experience. And then other ones I was like, I don't think I really want to sing those songs. So I thought, you know what, I'm going to start my own band.
That's
I'm going to sing what I want.
That's
what I want. And
because a lot of bands just play other people's music, and then they don't end up going anywhere.
Right.
So you get to throw in your own original stuff.
I do, yes.
Yeah.
I'm so grateful that my bandmates actually will, will play my stuff, and
wow.
but we do a lot of covers, of classics and stuff, and
That's great.
we incorporate some of my music.
So do you have any of your music like out there that anybody be able to listen to?
Yes, I currently have 2 singles at the moment.
Wow.
One of them, my first one is called Morning, Noon, and Night.
Morning, noon, and night.
Yeah. Morning,
nice.
Thanks. And the other one is called Oil and Water, which I did a collaboration with.
That sounds
friend.
really good.
We don't mix, so why bother?
I love that.
So I wrote
good.
that with a friend of mine, and I have another one coming out probably in the next couple of weeks called Last in Line.
Last in Line.
Yeah, Last in
Wow.
Line. So
These
that's
are
about
good titles. I love it.
I know. It's kind of
Yeah.
like it's obviously a little bit about my stories, but Last in Line. I'm not going to be last in line anymore.
Right.
Putting myself first. So there's
Put myself first.
Exactly.
Right?
Yeah.
Right. I love that. So, what do you want your legacy to be?
My legacy, boy.
What do you want people to remember about you? I think they're going to remember like how positive you were and how you pushed through. And, I better get your signature now because I see that. I already know you're going to become like somebody famous. And you're like, oh, yeah, she was here.
From your mouth to God's ears, right? As they say.
Right? Yeah. So, I don't know. I just see you going very, very far. And I'm really glad that you are doing your own original music. I think a lot of people don't do that. And they get stuck as being a cover band, right? And then they're unhappy. So you're like right off to the right start. Like it's really good. And we're really going to follow your career because it sounds so exciting.
Thank you.
Yeah.
That's it. It will take me where it's meant to be, I guess.
Yeah.
And, but I just, I want to continue writing, and if I can inspire people to do that, and just do what your heart desires and what you really want, and and dream big. Like I find
dream big. I love that.
We really like we limit ourselves, right? And why not? Just whatever you feel.
You got one life. Like why limit yourself, right?
Exactly. And do something. We have one shot at it, at least this lifetime, anyway. So let's do for myself, I just want to, I want to meet a lot of great people and inspire them and be inspired, and hopefully my children too will learn something from, just always never give up and always stay positive and keep moving forward.
Never give up.
And no looking back, just
even the Bible it says that, somebody looked back and they turn into a pillar of salt. I think it's a sign. A couple weeks ago, I was stuck because I was telling my friends something happened to me 20 years ago. I was with the wrong set of people in the wrong environment. And all of a sudden, I remembered it. And I'm like, who cares? But it just kept popping in my head. Okay. So I thought, wow, I got to heal this. So I started asking people, why is this memory still here? What do I do? And, pray about it, write about it, release it. And then I went to Bonnie's meditation, and one of the ladies told me, she said, listen, what you do is that you have your spirit guide or angels with you, and you put that memory, as you're sitting on a bench, you put it into the water, and you let the water flow and take that away. Nice. And it's gone away from you, and you release it because it doesn't serve you. Yeah. It doesn't serve you. So you are so right about the past. Let the past be the past and move forward with who you are today and where you want to go, because anything is possible. Yeah, I mean, look at this beautiful woman. She started like 52 years old. She's beautiful. She's got like a family, career, music, and you're going to go so far. And instead of staying stuck, like after something happens, like a breakup, don't let it stop you. No. Don't. Just keep pushing. Yeah, we're worth more.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And lately I've been reading parts of the Bible and noticing that parts of the Bible are missing. So I was watching a podcast this morning on parts of the Bible that are missing. Okay. And the guy was saying that a lot of the parts that are missing are about women of power. That in the past that women had so much power, and that even Mother Mary, that she was a teacher, and there's all these parts that didn't talk about how powerful she was, how much love she gave, how much teaching she gave. It was taken out to make the woman sort of like submissive to the man. Right. And I thought, wow, you know, that's in my family, that's how we're trained as women.
Mm-hmm.
We're supposed to get married. And my mom used to say, I've never been married, but my mom used to say, oh, when are you going to get married? When are you going to give me kids? You know,
Right.
when it's like, I don't want to get married. Right. So, yeah, I just thought it was so amazing that, you know, there is powerful examples and some of them have been hidden from us.
Absolutely.
And we need to do our research on that.
Yeah.
And we need more examples of women that are powerful, that are doing something in society, and follow them and reach out and ask for help. Like if you want to become in the music industry, you know, reach out, talk to people. Don't keep it inside, you know. And if you're a woman and you're feeling suffocated or, you know, depressed, like I had one of my neighbors come over and say to me, Beverly, my whole marriage I've been suppressed. My husband's been abusing me, but now that the kids moved out, I don't let him anymore. And I'm like, you wasted your whole life being abused, and now you don't let him because the kids are gone? I mean, I don't understand, but
yeah, sometimes it's tough to walk away, right?
It's tough to walk away.
It is. Like, I mean, even for you, because maybe you've always sort of wanted that perfect family. You know what I mean? Like I came from parents that got divorced when I was 8 years old, and that's the last thing that I wanted was to not to have that family. It took me a long time to walk away and to have the strength and the courage to do it, and then and actually putting myself first, and and thinking about about my kids. Like, do I want them to see me unhappy and miserable? So it takes a lot of courage, and sometimes it takes a bit longer. But eventually, like, if you can find it in you, and that's another thing too. I had a friend of mine that just happened to appear out of nowhere, and she helped me. So to pay attention to who's there to be able to help you. And I found that, since I've been able to, now I have a great life, and with my children, and I feel a lot stronger that I've been able to do it to some of my friends and to help them. They realize, they're like, wow, Rachel, you did it, and look at your life now, and you can also do it too. So I've been helping some of my friends as well, and just recognizing that, that you're special too, and you deserve to be happy.
I love that. So one thing I noticed in my family, like when my mom died, I got her journals and I got to read about stuff, right?
Okay.
That happened, and my intake was totally different than hers, and so I'm really glad I got to see her idea of how things went. But we didn't have communication, and I think that's the secret that you just did with your sons. Even though you were going through all these feelings and emotions, you were able to talk to them, to communicate, instead of, because you said it took courage, and and you must have told them, like, this is what's happening, this is what I'm going through. Where my mom, I guess that was the olden days, they didn't do that, they didn't communicate. But I find it so important, and I just wish that parents would communicate more, and don't be scared to tell your kids what's going on, because they know anyway.
Right, yeah.
They know, and they want you to tell them. They want you to be honest and tell them. So is that what you did with your kids?
Well, yeah, my children were a bit younger as well, and I just wanted to make sure that it was as seamless as possible for them, right? So we ended up having our own home, and we moved right before COVID too. So we got a new home in 2019, and then so here we are in a new neighborhood, and things are different for them. But I had promised we'll have a place with a pool, and
pool was important.
The pool was so important. Oh yeah, for sure. And then everything. And then we moved on a court, and on our court we had three other little families. Yeah. And then so we were all kind of together during COVID and stuff. So they didn't really feel the ripple effects of it. You
are so lucky. That's very blessed that you had a pool and that group, right?
I did.
Because during COVID at my old house, I had a small pool and hot tub. And I just thought, oh God, it's such a blessing.
I know.
Thank you so much.
Exactly.
When the rest of the world is like not going out, I'm like taking the vitamin D and just taking the energy from the sun. And that's what really got me through that.
And we slowed down, right? We spent a lot of time together. I mean, then I became a teacher, right? You're a teacher, you're a chef now, even more, and you're just
Wow.
You're together with your family all the time. The kids were doing online learning, and it was a tough time for a lot. We were still very blessed and stuff, but
it was different. It was really crazy back then. That's for sure.
Yeah.
Well, I'm glad we live in Canada, and I'm glad COVID's over.
Oh goodness,
and
yes.
I'm glad that we're able to move forward. And we really thank you for coming here today and sharing your experience, strength, and hope with the next generation. And we're just so excited to see where your career is going to go, because I know it's going to go far, because you're such a good singer.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate that very much.
Well, I want to have cheers to you.
Absolutely.
And wish you the very best.
Thank you, and same to you.
Yeah, thank you very much.
I hope our paths stay aligned and that we stay connected as well.
Yes, and I can't wait to hear you play again.
Thank you.
Thank you, Rachel, for being here today on our podcast. What a deep interview. We love you and we wish you the best, because I know you're going to go so far. Having 2 coaches and working on yourself on a daily basis, having your career as a real estate agent, and also having 2 beautiful children. And you know what? Just going forward, like, your music is amazing. I really enjoy your band. And you know what? I'm going to just remember that slogan, the name of your band: no looking back, only going forward. Thank you so much.